Rasa the dancer, and Rasa the dancer is in Miami. And I'm staying in this beautiful apartment, and I decided to make a video for you. And of course, I'll be making more videos while I'm here. I'm staying here for a week, business related. And I will try and make the videos in different places in this apartment because it's gorgeous, and I want you to have a look at what kind of apartment I get to stay in whilst I'm in Miami. I am a lucky girl. Anyway, so this video right here, I will be making the 5 tips for you in how to find a better connection whilst dancing. Now, as you know, most of the dancing that I do is usually partner work. And in partner work, you need not only emotional connection, you need a physical connection as well. So these tips are specifically for that. And I truly believe that if you go through these tips and you improve your connection with your partner, you will become a much better dancer and you will be able to enjoy the dance much more as well. So stick around, the tips are coming up. Whilst we're dancing, we need to be physically connected because we're dancing with another partner, right? With another human being. So for the guys to lead it, you need to have a connection. And of course, for the followers to follow, you need to have a connection as well. Now the connection is, besides the ballroom hold, if you're holding hands, this is specifically when you're holding hands, because it's actually easier to feel a connection when in a close hold because you're closer. But it's much harder, in my opinion, to maintain a connection when it's just the hands. So if you're holding a fingertip connection, for example, if you're dancing salsa, or if you're doing bachata and you want to turn or something, because sometimes in bachata we do have a stronger connection, but still, the idea is that when you connect, you have to make sure that you feel that connection, which is kind of like a pull and a pull from both directions here, right? If you have that connection here all the way through the dance, you'll be fine. What happens most of the time, which is my tip for you how to avoid it and to maintain that connection nicely, is to make sure that you don't just connect in the beginning of the dance, you actually try and feel and maintain it all the way through the dance. So as soon as you're here, a lot of the times, if you move your arms erratically, you will lose that connection. So you need to stay still with your arms and express yourself more through the body. Also, a lot of the times we connect, but instead of actually just connecting through the fingertips, we connect too much and we tense the body. So we do this, right? So we feel that if we give tension, that's going to be the connection, but it is not that. We always need to be relaxed, and the connection only goes through the fingertips. And the fact that I pull and the shoulder and the hip travels, or if I push, the shoulder and the hip goes. Does that make sense? That's my connection. It is not tension. So anytime you hear in a class tension, it's probably just a lack of vocabulary, but the idea still remains the same. They never actually want you to tense your body. They want you to find the connection, all right? So that's kind of my tip number 1, keep searching for connection. For followers especially, sometimes if the guy, the leader, whoever's leading, is not really giving the right connection and is kind of all over the place, moves the arms a little bit too much, I always try to find my connection. So I keep searching for it. Where is it? Where is it? After every 10 combination, where is my connection? I try to find it myself. If I do try and find it, it's so much easier to follow. As a leader, you have to try and also find the connection. So if the followers' arms are floppy and you feel like they're going all over the place, we start trying to find connection, maybe then in the wrist, maybe in the shoulder, maybe in the hip, trying to find different ways to connect in order to be able to lead. Because when there's no connection, you just can't. So that's my tip number 1, keep searching for those connections any way possible and don't tense up. Connecting is not the same as tensing up. Okay, number two, that is very important, is to understand that we connect, well, try to connect not only from fingertip, but also through our center. That's another way to keep connected to your partner. For example, if I'm turning all the way around, I'll make sure by the end of the turn, I'm connected with my center. That means my center here through my body finds the person that I'm dancing with center. So if I'm dancing with my partner and my center is there and I have no finger connection, if I have the hands is one thing, but if I have no hands and my center is there, I'm disconnected from my partner. As soon as I bring my center towards my partner, I have a connection again, because our body is able to mimic and follow the body. If I am here, my body cannot mimic that body because we are in two different places. If that makes any sense? So we want the two bodies to be in front, and then when they're moving with their center. Yes? Together. Right? So if you're a follower, you could actually, even without the hands, follow just based on the center where the body needs to go. I hope that makes sense. And it's really, really important because sometimes, especially in bachata, because in bachata we keep changing direction all the time. Sometimes we do a kind of half turn situation or something, and the center is off and we don't know where to go. But as soon as you focus to bring your center towards your partner, this is for followers especially, right? You bring your center towards the partner, it's so much easier. You immediately know where to go. You push the center off and you don't know where to go anymore. So you have to focus and always, besides this connection here, try to connect with your center, right? This is especially for the followers. For the leaders, it's different because they are leading, so they know more or less where they want to be. But still, sometimes it's in specific situations. Leaders, you also want to make sure that your center finds your partner's center. But for the followers, especially because we do all the turns and we get in different positions where sometimes we don't know where we are, as soon as you connect your center to your partner, your body immediately recognizes where it needs to be. So that is my tip number 2, how to connect in a partner. My tip number 3 is gonna be a repetition. I've said this a million times before, and this is really, really, really applicable. Applicable? What is the word? Applicable? Comment below with the right spelling and pronunciation of applicable. You can apply it very well. Where was I? Oh, my English is not very good looking. So I will repeat myself, but this is a really important point, and I think it suits the situation very well. And that is, leaders have to lead, followers have to follow. Leaders should not think about what the followers should do. Followers should not think about what the leader should do. Everybody should mind their own business and do the best job they can at what they are doing. Everybody's so quick to say, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, but with all honesty, we are all different people. Some leaders lead stronger, some leaders lead softer. Everybody has a personal style, same with the followers. Some are extremely soft, some are very quick to pick things up, some prefer stronger. I don't like strong leads. It's all subjective. I mean, we can say what's right or wrong, but then there's nuances. So you cannot tell a leader or follower, you can't tell one another what it should be. You can tell basic techniques, but not whether it has to be stronger or less or whatever, because that is your personal preference. And only the teacher can tell whether it's too much or too little. So you have to mind your own business and do whatever it takes to do the best you can in leading or following. If I'm leading and my follower is not doing what I wanted to do, or him or whoever's following, I will make sure that I do whatever it takes from my side to make it happen. If I am a follower and I cannot understand what the leader is doing, I will not think why I can't do it because he's bad. I'll be thinking, why can't I get it? Even if it's maybe technically wrong, maybe something's up and it's not completely correct, I will try and find a way as a follower how to make it a better dance. So that's my tip number 3. Connection between the partner work is sometimes also trying to focus on the job that you need to do and find ways to make it as nice as possible for that one song. Then move on to another person. That's my tip number 3. So we talked about the connection between the hands, we talked about the connection between the centers, and we talked about the fact that everybody needs to do their job in leading or following to find the connection and make it happen. Now, this 4th tip is an eye connection and a smile connection, which is, of course, a little bit more towards emotional side than the technical side. The eye connection still is technically important as well, because usually where we look is where we go. Also, spotting while turning is important. So eyes where you look is important technically, but looking into somebody's eyes, that's an emotional connection. Smiling whilst you're dancing towards your partner, that's an emotional connection. Now, it's very important because that's what makes the dance special. If you don't have like that other connection rather than just physical connection, then it kind of loses the soul, the whole dance. And you know, you can still have a good time, but it's not the same. The moment you pay attention to somebody and you express some sort of gratitude by smiling or keeping an eye contact, immediately gives meaning to the dance, and you are presenting positive vibes to the person. So both of you then leave with extra positivity that you can spread to other people, which is the most beautiful thing ever, right? Of course, said that, you don't want to be staring into somebody's eyes so you can read their soul. That's not what it's about. It's about acknowledgement. So you're dancing, 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 you have a look. Dancing, 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 you have a look. Dancing, 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 you have a look and a smile. Maybe just smile throughout. You know, now and then, it's just acknowledgement that you are dancing with another human being and you appreciate the fact that they're dancing with you. That's all. And it's really beautiful, and you're spreading positivity, and it travels so far, and that's what makes the dancing so special. So look into somebody's eyes now and then. No, not staring. That happens to me actually. People really try to maintain eye contact. Sometimes it can be weird. But I prefer that than complete ignorance, you know, and ignoring me. And smile. I can't help it because I love the music and I love to dance, so I'm constantly smiling, no matter who it is that I'm dancing with. But if you're not a smiler, fake it. It's important. Final tip, allow each other to play. If you find the connection physical and you're having a good time, you're emotionally connected, you're smiling, you're keeping an eye contact, let each other play. Don't be, if you are a leader especially, don't be like constantly doing all of these things and not getting like a tiny little moment of somewhere where the pause, or you let the follower do some styling or something, because that creates playfulness, which is an extra type of connection. It's not just going through the dance, it's actually now playing from each other's energy. It's awesome. And followers as well, don't be very narrow-minded and thinking just because you are a follower, you are following, and that's it. Sometimes don't be afraid to connect with your partner in a cheeky way. If the music is stopping, don't be afraid to just go bah and stop. Look into his eyes, smile, and be like, right? And then you continue following really beautifully. That's the thing. So it's really, really important to be playful with one another, and that creates a different kind of connection. So that is my tip number 5. Don't be very, very narrow-minded by going lead and follow, lead and follow. Now and then, play with each other, and that creates a completely different dynamics in your dance. That's it. We had our 5 tips on how to find a better connection whilst dancing. I think they are good tips. I use these tips all the time. They're part of my nature now. It happens naturally. But I think if you struggle to find connection, whether it's physical or emotional, these tips are really, really helpful. So have a think about them and try and start applying it in your dance. In the meantime, while I still have your attention, why don't you subscribe to my YouTube channel? It is a very good channel, full of information. And also, you could do the thumbs up for this video, and I love the comments. So if you comment something or you have any requests, by now you probably know I fulfill them, because I read through my comments, I write them down, and then I make my top 5 tips just exactly what you want. Thank you so much for watching, and of course I will see you on my channel next Saturday. Bye.